What's up? I'm Benz. This is my first video, and I want to start with something that's been on my mind for a while. Now, this channel is gonna be about social commentary, culture, trends, things we normalize without really questioning. And today, I want to talk about something that I think is quite quietly shaping our generation more than we realize: sports gambling. Now, not in a dramatic way, not in a banning way, but in a why did this become so normal so fast way? So let's actually, break this down, Stop scrolling for a second, you know, because think about it. Like, you can't watch a single game without the odds on the screen. You can't scroll social media without seeing someone flexing a parlay or flexing a car. I got this and that from so and so betting. I bet it on the chickens fighting in Las Vegas and I got 500K. Like, saying the most outlandish shit. You can't send a group chat without someone asking, what are we betting on tonight? Like, even the Super Bowl was so whack this year. Like I know my group didn't even care about it. Like we watched till like the second quarter and stopped watching it because they saw they bet was losing. But like at what point did we stop watching sports and and just watching our bets, you know? And like before you react like emotionally in the comments and shit, just like actually think about that, like for real, cause like this isn't about hating on gambling. I fuck with gambling. I went to the casino multiple times with my friends just to have a nice, chill, good time. It's really you like if you go to the casino, you can enjoy it. Ain't nothing wrong with enjoying it, but like when you gotta stop, you gotta stop. But like I'm not trying to question how deeply it's like embedded into our culture and like all right, my first real question for you, like for y'all, like if sports betting disappeared tomorrow, would you actually like miss the games or would you miss the action of betting on them, You gotta be honest, cause like let's rewind 10 years, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Like gambling wasn't like it wasn't integrated into every broadcast that we had. It wasn't baked into commentary. It wasn't discussed like fancy football. Like now odds are shown mid game like they're part of the scoreboard, Like it shows like Jason Tatum, is he gonna score a three tonight or some bullshit. Like it's always like there, and influencers post betting slips, like it's fucking trophies right now these days, especially Drewski and all that shit, you know, DraftKings, all that shit, LeBron on there too, like, but like I don't know how how we did it. It just came all accepted, like it was so acceptable before, cause like before it wasn't like that. Like before we thought of like sports gambling, we thought about like the old creepy guy in a bar that's in the back and he's just fucking betting his whole life savings. It was more scary. Like it wasn't so normalized. Now it's like just like it's too fucking normal, And normalization is powerful, bro. Like, cause once something feels normal, we stop questioning it. But here's where it gets interesting though. Like, it's not just normal; it's expected. There's almost a subtle pressure to participate for real. Like if you're not betting, you're kind of outside the conversation, you know. Like you're not making this money, like you're not on this wave. You're like, and I want you to think about this, because when did sports become incomplete without money attached to them? Drop a comment right now. Do you think betting enhances the experience, or does it just replace it? You know, I actually want to know where people stand though, like for real. Cause like let's talk about the design. These apps aren't just neutral tools, like they're engineered experiences. Bright colors, boosted odds, risk-free bets, limited time offers, live betting every few minutes and all that shit, the push notifications, the language they have on these apps isn't accidental, you know? It's just like when you go to the casino in real life, there's no clocks around, It's always bright lights, you know, like on all the games. Like it's scarcity, It's FOMO at literally it's FOMO, you know. But it hits the same psychological triggers as mobile games and social media, and that matters because like the human brain is wired for dopamine. So once you get that quick win or like a near miss, like or anticipation of a payout, bro, like you're hooked. You're done. You're cooked, my boy. Chat, get him. He's cooked. you know. And when you combine that with sports, something people are already like emotionally invested in, like with a team and shit, bro. Bro, there was some guy betting on the fucking Eagles. He put his whole 30K, his whole life savings on the Eagles winning. Thank God the Eagles won. You know, fuck. Thank God they won. But nigga, damn, your whole life savings on the sports betting app, mud. And I don't even think he got fucking double the pay. Cause I think the payout wasn't that high for the team. I think he only got like 15. He didn't even get a full 30 back. He got like 15 back. It's still something. Like I ain't hating. The nigga won. You know what I'm saying? The nigga won. Can't be mad at him. He won. But like it's so normalized, you know? It's so normalized to do some like risky move like that. You know? I'm trying to like explain it like they shape this behavior, you know, habits shape outcomes. We understand it's like with junk food, we understand it's like with social media, but when it comes to gambling, suddenly it's just self control, you know. Like let me ask you this. If cigarettes were reintroduced today with the same advertising intensity as like the sports betting apps, would we just call that personal responsibility? Exactly, right? You know? Now you see where my head's at. Now here where it gets a little deeper at though. Who is this primarily like my fault. Primarily targeting? It's young men, 18 to late 20s, you know, the same demographic already dealing with the pressure to make money, build a status, and figure life out. Now add this message, you know, you can double your money tonight if you're smart enough. That's powerful. It sells intelligence, it sells confidence, it sells control. But the math doesn't lie. Leche, cámate, papi. Cámate. Sorry. You know. But like if the majority of users were consistently profitable, these companies wouldn't be exploding revenue. The house wins long term. Always. Always. You know, if you sit at a blackjack table for too fucking long, bro, you're gonna lose your whole fucking bankroll that fucking night. I guarantee it. You know, if you don't have the will to get up and get the fuck out, you're gonna fucking lose. That's just the way the fucking house wins. How it works, you know? But like people like some people get into this slowly, you know, like a little $50 here, $100 there. You know, they might have a bad week, a cold streak, you know, over time. Let's debate this, you know. Do you think most people who bet regularly are actually up long term or just telling themselves they are? You feel me? Like, let me know in the comments. Here's something people don't talk about enough. It changes how you experience sports. You know, you're not just watching for greatness, you're watching for your number to hit. A player drops 30 points, and instead of, damn, that's crazy, my nigga just dropped 30, it's like, did he cover the fucking, did he just cover my parlay? You know, like, did he score over 30? Like, competition becomes transactional. You know, entertainment becomes financialized, and when everything becomes about money, it subtly rewires your value. Short-term spikes over long-term appreciations, instant payout over long-term growth. Now zoom out real quick. Does that sound familiar? Like because the mindset isn't just in gambling; it's everywhere. Quick flips, overnight success, viral moments, acceleration culture, sports benefits perfectly into the category of those same logics. So there's a bigger question for y'all. Like, is sports gambling the cause of this mindset, or is it like a symptom of it? It's a real debate. You know, I'm not here saying everyone who bets is addicted. I'm not saying gambling should be banned. What I'm questioning is how quietly this became embedded in everyday life. When 8 year olds see betting ads during every major game, when losing money is framed as just entertainment, when people feel left out if they don't have an action on the game, that's a cultural influence, and influence compounds. Here's something uncomfortable to ask yourself: if you can't watch a game without feeling you need money on it, is that still a hobby, bro? Like you're not watching the Cavs, you know, just to watch the Cavs. You watching the Cavs to see if your man's hits 10 rebounds tonight. This nigga gets 3 turnovers or some shit, bro. You know, it's not dependency. Think about it before you get defensive and shit. But just speaking my truth, how I feel, you know, my opinion, brother. But maybe this is just the evolution of the sports culture on a real. the way it's looking, maybe it's no different from the fantasy leagues. Maybe this is harmless, but something about the speed of the way this is happening, the saturation, the normalization feels different. Like, bro, it feels too aggressive. It feels engineered, bro. Like the way, bro, the shit going on with the government right now. It feels like that, like shit. All this shit ain't happening right now for like no reason. And I don't think we fully processed that yet, for real. But I'll leave you with this though. Like in 10 years, when we look back at this era of sports culture, do you think we'll say this was just harmless fun, or like, wow, this really shaped our generation? Cause imagine, for me, 20 years down the line, you gonna see your man's, well, your old man's, feel me, cracked out on the side of the road. You gonna be like, bro, fuck happened to you? Nigga, like, I bet my last 20K on the Celtics game, and them niggas sold my shit. They sold my ticket, mother. What the fuck, bro? Like, but this is how I feel though. I don't think this is a one-sided conversation though. I want to know if you think I'm overreacting, or if I notice, or if you notice the same thing, you know. But that's it for this first little, sport bet, cause that shit did take over, real shit. Think we're cooked, chat. Think we're cooked. We're all betting on the same shit. But hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Hope you enjoyed live commentary, and hope y'all enjoy. You know, make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more. Let me know how y'all feeling. Safety.